Number 8. Althea is making sugar cookies for her class. Her recipe calls for 900 grams of sugar, 1.5 kilograms of flour, 22 grams of baking powder, and 9 grams of salt. How many grams of these ingredients are used? So I know it's been a while since we did grams. I'm going to make a note over to the side here. 1.5 kilograms. I'm not going to have enough in the box to write this. That's equal to 1,500 grams. Okay, because 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. 1/2 kilogram equals 500. So knowing that information, I'm going to go over to my box and set up an addition problem. I have 900. I have 1,500. 22 and 9. And I'm going to go ahead and add all of mine together. Those are all grams. I have my units. And if I go ahead and I add all of it together, 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 2 is 3. 9 plus 5, 14. 1 plus 1 is 2. Your answer should be 2,431. What is another one you would like to see, Charlotte?
Could you do a number? 11.
11. A package of printer paper weighs 5 pounds. Okay, I know we haven't gone over this one before. 1 pound, guys. Oops, that's not the right. 1 pound, P-O-U-N-D. I was trying to abbreviate it, and when you abbreviate, it's actually LB. But 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So knowing that information, we're doing 5 pounds, 16 times 5. 5 times 6, 30, regroup 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3, 8. That's 80 ounces. What is another one? Hank, I saw your hand.
14.
14. Okay. Yes. So let's go ahead and write this. I'm going to write it in pen today. 2,505 divided by 5. Go ahead and get that written in your box. 1 second. I'm just typing a quick comment. All righty. 2 divided by 5. I can't do it. So I instead have to look at 25. Well, 25 divided by 5. Eliza?
5.
5. So I have to write 5 above. 5 times 5. 25. 25 minus 25 is 0. I pull that next 0 down. 0 divided by 5 gives me what? Charlotte.
0 divided by 5 equals 0.
0. I have to pull down the next 5. Now 5 divided by 5. How many would be in each group? Kira?
1.
1. 1 times 5, 5. 5 minus 5, 0. Okay? All right, what is another one you would like to see? What is another one you would like to see? Olive.
Number 5, please.
Number 5. Awesome. Number 5, 10 times 67 equals 670 because the 6 in 670 represents 6 hundredths, which is blank times as much as 6 tens. How much bigger is hundreds than tens? How many times bigger? Eliza.
10.
10. So my first blank would be 10. I'm going to draw my second blank. And the 7 in 670 represents 7 tens, which is blank times as much as 7 ones. Eliza?
10.
10. 10 and 10. Eliza.
Can you please do number 13?
Yes. Number 13, 59 times 32. I'm glad you asked about a matrix model. 13, right, Miss Eliza? Want to make sure I'm doing the right one. We have 59 and 32. 30 times 50. Eliza.
1,500.
1,500. 30 times 9. Olive.
270.
270. 50 times 2. Kira. 'What was that?
I'm at 100, not 18.
Yep. And 2 times 9 is, I think, what you were answering before is 18. So 1,500 plus 270 gives me 1,770. I add across 100 plus 18, 118. Go ahead and add down for me and give me the answer. Eliza, what is my answer?
1,888.
Yes. Excellent. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any other ones you want to see? Anybody who has not raised their hand yet? Eliza and Charlie, you've both raised your hand before. Let me look and see which ones I think are complicated. First of all, I want you to look at the pattern one, number 9, 2, 12, 22, 32, 42. Starting at 2, add 10. What would my next number be? My quiz last Friday asked you what the next number would be, and some of you did not answer that. What would the next number in the pattern be after 42? If I'm continuing that pattern. Charlotte.
52.
52. The question last week, you were adding 6, I believe, and the next number in the pattern was 35. And we forgot to maybe say what the pattern was or what the next number was, but some of us didn't answer both parts of the question. And number 1, Beckett's class raised $30 for the city food bank. Reagan's class raised 5 times that amount. How much money did Reagan's class raise for the city food bank? Write a number sentence and solve it. We're not writing the number sentence when it's being asked of us. You need to do 30 times 5 equals, what does that equal, Eliza?
$150.
Yep, and I can just put 150. I think we're getting confused. Like, I don't want an answer statement for that. I want a number sentence or an equation. Okay, we have to move on. If there's one that you are super stuck on, and at the end of Zoom, you want to ask me the question, I will stay on, but we need to move on to the other part of our lesson, which is our Eureka. Okay, so we're moving on topics. We've done division for a little while now. We're going to be on lesson 22 today. And what I would like you to do, we're going to take a couple of days to do lesson 22. So what I would like you to do, instead of getting out your book, is I would like you to get your whiteboard out. We're going to get our whiteboard out. And now I've put my whiteboard somewhere, and now I'm not being responsible. Let me go look for my whiteboard. Aha. Here's my whiteboard. There you go. Awesome. Good. Or if you have to use a piece of paper, you have to use a piece of paper. That's fine too. Okay. So what we are working on today is finding factor pairs for numbers to 100, okay? And then using our understanding of factors to both define both prime and composite numbers. So this might be very familiar to us based on what we've done in simple solutions already. So we're going to identify the factors and products represented in an array. So we are first going to look at an array of 1 by 8. So quickly draw a 1 by 8 array. That means 1 down, 8 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have my array of 1 by 8. What is my number sentence for this array? Olive.
1 times 8 Equals 8.
Yep. 1 times 8 equals 8. So both of these, underline that. You can label that as your factors. Remember, a factor is a number multiplied to another number to give us our product. Our product. Our factors are the numbers that we multiply to one another to get our product. Our other array for 8, for our number 8, is a 2 by 4. 2 by 4 across. What is my number sentence for my 2 by 4? Hank.
2 times 4.
2 times 4 equals 8. So these are my factors. This is my product. Okay? Those are my factors. This is my product. Okay? Do we all have a number, a whiteboard, or something to write on in front of us? Remember, I can see you. Thank you. All righty. Well, that's what I know for 8. So let's go ahead and list our factors for 8. We we used to just do our number sentences. From now on, what I would like to do when I ask you to list the factors for a number, I would like you to list them in order from least to greatest. So for my number 8, I would list first 1. My next factor in order is 2. My next factor of 8 is 4. And my final factor of 8 is 8. I have listed the factors of 8 in order from least to greatest. When someone asks you to list the factors, this is typically what I am looking for. In order from least to greatest. Excellent. All right, now I am going to ask, I'm going to erase my board. We're going to draw some more. Let's go ahead and draw arrays for 1 times 18. So I have 1 times 18, 1 by 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1 times 18 equals 18. What is another array I could draw? Eliza.
2 times 9.
2 by 9. 2 times 9. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to have my array. And that is 2 times 9 equals 18. And finally, what is another set that I could draw? Olive.
3 times 6.
Yep, I could draw a 3 by 6. So I would have 3 times 6 equals 18. Okay, so using our arrays that we drew, our number sentences that we wrote, can we list all of our factors of 18? Doing it in the order I had us do for 8. What number comes first? Eliza.
1,
1. Then what comes next? Keep going, Eliza.
2,
Then,
3,
then,
6,
yep.
then 9,
And
then 18.
perfect. And what we see a lot of the times to show how the factors match up with one another, we draw arrows, almost like a little rainbow, to show that these factors match up with one another, okay? So those are our factors of 18, okay? All righty. I am going to erase my board and I'm going to show you a number sentence. My number sentence is 2 times 8 equals 16. What are the factors in my number sentence? What are the factors in my number sentence? Charlotte.
The number factors are
What are the factors in my number sentence? 2 times 8 equals times 8.
like 8.
It's okay. What are the factors in my number sentence? Eliza?
2 and 8.
2 and 8 are my factors. So that makes 16 is what? What is 16 called? Owen?
Product.
The product. All right, so we know 16 is our product. What other multiplication sentences can you write using different factors that will give us the same product of 16? I'd like you to write them down first before you tell me. What are different number sentences that you can write using different factors? So you can't just do 8 times 2. We're not talking about flipping them around. I want different factors that will give us the same product. Hank, what is another number sentence I can write?
4 times 4 equals 16.
4 times 4 equals 16. What is the other multiplication sentence I can write? Olive. You froze a little bit, Olive. Maybe if you turn your camera off and then talk. Eliza?
1 times 16.
1 times 16 equals 16. Okay, So my answers for who would like to list my factors? Those are all my possible number sentences. Who would like to list my factors? Owen.
2, 8, 16, 1, 4, and 4.
That is really good, but can you list them in order from least to greatest? We have to list them in order from least to greatest.
1,
So try it again.
2, 1, 2, 8, or sorry, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, 8.
One more. 16. I think you kind of started saying it and then it shorted out a little bit. You do not list 4 twice. So all you list is for the one time, okay? I know it's kind of strange, but you do not need to list them more than once. So if I were kind of drawing my little rainbow thing underneath, 4 is kind of by itself. And we have 5 factors for the number, for the product 16. So I can say that, I can say that 16 is a composite number because it has more than 3 or more factors. It has more than 2, okay? Let's try another question really quickly. We have 1 times 7 equals 7. What are the factors in my number sentence? What are the factors, Charlotte?
1 and 7.
1 and 7. My product is 7. My product is 7. But can I find any other multiplication sentences to find my product? Can I, Eliza?
No.
No. So number 1 times 7, the number 7 is what we call prime. It only has 2 factors, 1 pair, 2 factors, okay? Numbers like 7, 5, 1 are called prime numbers. They can only be multiplied by 1, by the number 1 and itself. And we are going to explore in a few lessons exactly all of the prime numbers between 1 and 100. You might think to yourself, wow, that sounds like a lot, but we are going to identify, not this lesson, but in a little, I think it's like 2 or 3 lessons, we are going to identify all of the prime numbers, something 1 times that number, only 2 factors between 1 and 100. So that's going to be exciting. We are going to identify now factors and determine if they are prime or composite. So I'm going to ask that we look at 3 numbers, and I'm going to ask you to write these tables underneath. My first number is 23. And we have a table that looks like this. I'm going to draw it. I'm trying to basically show what is on your problem set. that looks like this. It's factor pairs. Factor pairs 423. What do you know that multiplies to the number 23? How can I fill in my table? What numbers do we know that multiply to give us 23? Hank.
1 times 23.
Do we know any other numbers? Give me a head shake yes, or head shake back and forth telling me no. So underneath it, we would write prime. P for prime. We have another number. Let's say 35. What are all the factor pairs we know for 35? Factor, pairs. For 35, Mason.
6 times 5.
6 times 5 is not, 5 is a factor, 6 is not. Scotty. What goes with 5?
Yep.
Shoot, I forgot it. I
What
like
goes
have
with
it, but I
5, guys, in 35? Kira.
7 and 5.
7. Yep. 5 and 7. What else do I know is a factor of 35? A factor pair. Olive.
35 and 1.
35 and 1. 35 and 1. So what composite number? So we can call this a composite number. C for composite. My last number I'm going to ask you about is 48. Factor pairs of 48, I should say. I'm sorry. 48. What factor pairs do we know? Mason.
1 and 48.
1 and 48. What else? We have several. Hank.
4 times 12.
4 and 12. Thank you for finding that one. What is another one that we have? Kira.
24 and 2.
24 and 2. Ooh, I got to make my table bigger. There's another set. Charlotte.
8.
8 and
8. And 8. And I know it's 8. I know 48.
what does 8 match with, Olive?
6.
6. So our number 48, composite. Okay, we are not going to do the problem set with this lesson today. I'm going to hold off on doing the problem set until Monday with that lesson. I think there's a lot that we can explore with prime and composite numbers with this lesson. Instead, what I would like you to do is everybody needs to go log on to Zearn, and you are going to complete, right now, almost everybody's lesson says 22, which is perfect because this is lesson 22 that we just did today. I don't want you signing off of Zearn until you do lesson all the way until it says 23, okay? So you're going to go log on. Don't sign off of Zoom just yet. I'd like to stay on for at least 15 minutes to make sure you are staying on there and not going other places. Because if I'm not on Zoom with you doing it, it seems like a lot of us kind of close our computers and kind of end our day. So I don't